What is up, everybody? I am the Entertainist, and welcome back. Now, I know I'm very late on this, talking about Avengers Endgame. It's been out for 2 weeks, and I've seen it twice, and I am just now making a review on it. I have planned for this the second I saw the movie, but I just have been busy with a bunch of shit. And also, I'm a procrastinator, and I just kind of pushed it off. So, I apologize, and I will not let this happen again. So, anyways, enough about that. Let's talk about this. But before I talk about this, obviously, there's going to be spoilers. And I don't want this movie to be spoiled for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. I think this movie needs to be experienced by everybody who hasn't seen it yet that wants to see it without knowing anything. It's a spectacular experience. So, if you have not seen the movie and you want to see it, please do not continue. I really recommend you don't. I recommend you seeing this for yourself. Even if you don't want to see it's quite a film. It is quite the film. But I am about to get into this in three, two, one. No going back. Anyways, all right. So before I break down the plot and really dive deep into the movie, I want to talk about it as a whole and just my opinion on the movie as a whole. And honestly, I'm very impressed with this. It went beyond the little expectation I had from it because the advertising was just so fucking great. They didn't really show anything in the previews and the trailers. They really only showed stuff from the first act to like the beginning of the second act, and that's it. And they don't even really explain what the plot is. So you don't even know what the movie's about. You just know it's the final Avengers movie, which I love. I love being surprised every step of the way. It was great marketing. Um, and just for what the movie was, I was pretty impressed for how it was put together. It is not like any other Avenger movie or any other superhero movie, really, or at least any Marvel movie. It really blew me away. I kind of felt speechless at the end of it. I just knew that I loved it. I loved the direction they went with it. I love how they wrapped everything up that's been building up over the last 10 years and what it finally came down to. And so, yeah, I am in love with this movie. It is my favorite Marvel movie. And I understand some people weren't impressed by it because you expected more, and it is slower in the first like hour and a half. The first half of the movie is a little slow paced, but it kind of needed to be for how Infinity War left off. I didn't think it needed to be rushed into, all right, we have a plan, and now let's stick with that plan. The superheroes, the Avengers, didn't really know what to fucking do. And I love that. I love that it's like, all right, well, now we know how to take care of this. No, they felt desperate. They just kind of accepted life for how it is after Thanos' snap and felt desperate and took any little chance they could get to try to fix things. But let's kind of dive deep into how the movie goes. So at the beginning, you got Hawkeye's family disappearing from the snap, and then you have Iron Man and Nebula in the spaceship after where they were left off in Infinity War, and Tony Stark accepted his fate. It was like, I'm running out of air. There's I think that he only had like a day left with oxygen in that ship till he loses all of it, and just kind of accepted his fate and thought that these were his final moments on Earth. Which, and I saw it twice already, and I'm like, that's a foreshadow. Um, and then Captain Marvel saves them, brings them down. They all reunite and just talk about how tragic it is and like what they can do to stop it. And Captain Marvel's like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to kill Thanos. So they go up to the ship, not the ship. They go up into space and they go find Thanos where they last him off in Infinity War, which was in this peaceful fucking world. He's by himself, like making himself breakfast and shit. Then they all gather by Thanos and kind of like get the upper hand and fucking they're like, where are the stones? We're going to fix everything. And Thanos is like, I use the stones to destroy the stones. And, he wasn't lying. Nebula's like, my father is anything but a liar. And they just were like, fuck, we don't know what to do. Then all of a sudden, Thor takes his fucking hammer, not even his hammer, the fucking like axe he has, and chops Thanos' head off. And that left me like, well, what the hell's the rest of the movie going to be about? Like 10 or like 20 minutes in, and you already killed Thanos. So that probably left everybody by shock. Like, okay. And then it jumps to 5 years later, half of the population's still dead. Captain America is still helping people in a non-superhero-y way, by like holding meetings and just, I mean, they even said like same shit, different day. Like, just talk about like how the world is not the same anymore. And yeah, it's kind of like a fucking apocalypse. I mean, it is an apocalypse. It's just like a dead zone in the world. And Tony Stark has a family. He has a 5-year-old daughter, is living on his own with Pepper. And then Ant-Man comes back from the quantum realm where they left him off in Ant-Man versus Wasp, and he figures out that that is the way to time travel. And they're like, we could use the quantum realm to kind of reverse everything, fix it all. So they're trying to dive deep into that concept on how they could fix it without fucking everything up. Oh, and then they meet up. Yeah, and then we just start touching up on the characters, like what happened last 5 years. Long story short, you got Hulk as Professor Hulk, which, might I say, that is my one slight disappointment of the movie. And what I mean by that is that I know Professor Hulk is a comic character, and I loved it at first. I thought it was fucking hilarious and different. He's taking selfies with like kids, like they're like, oh, it's the Hulk. He combined his brains with the fucking monster. And so he's just like the Hulk, but weak, but very smart. I liked it for a little bit, but then when I realized that that's just going to be him the rest of the movie, I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. Because, Hulk was like made out as a little bitch in Infinity War, and fucking Thanos scared Hulk away. And like, so we're like, okay, we're gonna see Hulk in the next movie. We do, but we don't. I was hoping for the final battle, he was gonna get all Hulk smash. He doesn't. And that was just my slight disappointment. It did not ruin it though. I mean, no movie's perfect. I mean, well, there's a couple. But anyways, then you have Thor. Now, a lot of people hate this. I thought it was hilarious. Thor's fat. Thor's fat as fuck and becomes an alcoholic, but he has PTSD because he feels like he is the blame that Thanos snapped because he didn't aim for the head. And I thought it was funny. You have, what the fuck are their names? The rock dudes from Ragnarok. They're playing Fortnite. I don't know. I thought it was a funny ad, and you gotta have some humor in there. So they all get together trying to make a plan. They use the quantum realm to go back in time and start fixing everything. I love that. That was one thing I loved about the finale is that, and like I love it when TV shows do this too. When they start like kind of flashing back to everything leading up to this moment, and that's what they do. And yeah, they even like reference Back to the Future. Like they know what they're doing. They know like this is not an original idea, but I get time travel is like the most like overused thing, but they made it work. I think they made it work. I thought it really made sense with how they did it. So you got Stark, Captain America, and Ant-Man and Hulk back to where the first Avengers movie was to get the stones, because they were like, oh, we have 3 stones in New York we can get. You got Professor Hulk seeing the past Hulk smashing shit. He gets all embarrassed. So they make a plan to get back all the stones. You have Captain America fighting Captain America. That was very fucking cool to see. I was hoping to see. I'm like, I hope one of these guys run into them past selves. And I was glad it was Captain America. That was really cool to see. Where he's like, what he say? He was like, I could do this all day. He's like, yeah, I know. They're kicking each other's asses. Let's get to some important shit though. So you have Black Widow and Hawkeye to get the Soul Stone, where Gamora got killed off in Infinity War. And you know how Hawkeye and Black Widow have a very like strong friendship. They both really care for each other. You know, Black Widow even admits like, I had nothing before this and now like I have everything. And she really feels like they both like, and Hawkeye, oh yeah, when we find Hawkeye in the 5 years, he's killing motherfuckers in like Asia, I think like Korea or something like that. He's just like, fuck it, starts killing everyone. He's going crazy because he lost his family, can't accept things for how they are. And Black Widow kind of saves him from all that. Then when they go to get the Soul Stone, the dude there tells them there's only one way to get the Soul Stone. Like, someone has to make a sacrifice. So Black Widow's like, I'm doing it. Hawkeye's like, no, I'm doing it. So they're kind of stopped. Like, that was cool. They were fighting without fighting. You know, Hawkeye would go to jump off the cliff and Black Widow would like kick him down. Then she would go and Hawkeye would like fucking shoot a bombing arrow at her to like stop her from doing it. And then I for sure thought it was going to be Hawkeye because I'm like, he lost everything and you know, he's ready. I guess it makes sense for it to be him. So he jumps off and then you got fucking Black Widow stopping him by shooting a fucking, what do you call that? Fucking like rope attaching to the rock or whatever, stopping him from doing it. And he's just hanging there, can't do anything about it. He grabs onto her to stop, and you know, there's really no way. And she's like, let me go. Like, please let me go. And he doesn't want to do it, and she does. And that's the end of Black Widow. It was very sad. But you know, it had to be done. It was the perfect way. It was the perfect way for her character to go out, I guess. She did the ultimate sacrifice to get the Soul Stone. She admitted, like, I need to do so. Like she wanted to give herself more of a purpose. She was like, this is the only family I've ever had. I really want to do something for this family, and she did. And R.I.P. Black Widow. Gonna miss her. She was a great character. Scarlett Johansson killed the performance with every movie she was in. So yeah, that happened. So they all get back from the quantum realm and notice that Black Widow's not there anymore. They mourn over her death. And, you know, then they get a little happy that they have all the stones. So... oh wait, I skipped a major fucking part. All right, I'm a scatterbrain. I know I jump all over the place. I really skipped a major part here. All right, when they were in New York and they were trying to get, I forgot which stone it was. It was one of the stones. It was Iron Man and Ant-Man going to get the one of the stones back. And I think it was after the final fight in the first Avengers. And it's hard to explain. Present time Iron Man tells Ant-Man, like, go to past Tony Stark and get inside his heart and take out one of the fucking cords. Like, that's not going to kill him, obviously, just kind of like make him collapse. So they do that, gets the briefcase with the stone in it, and then fucking Loki, because it was after they get Loki and arrest him, Loki takes the stone and takes it back, and they're like, fuck, we blew it. So then they have to go further back in time to get that stone. They go back into the 70s, which was kind of cool to see. You got Captain America being Captain America. He's the most beloved hero. He finds Peggy and, you know, gets a little starstruck, which who wouldn't? You know, you see the love of your life that you couldn't have a life with. And, you know, kind of throws him off guard a little bit. Tony runs into his father, which was that was a very nice scene. They're having a heart to heart about having kids, and Tony is just proud to see how his dad was and realize that his dad actually gave a shit about him. Then they hug, and Howard gets all thrown off by that. So yeah, that was the one thing I left off. That's very important. But yeah, they get that stone back, and then they come back from the quantum realm and then see that Black Widow's not there. They moan over her death, but get happy. They have all the stones, and then Thanos comes. Oh yeah, I'm all over the place, guys. And I know I'm leaving out key parts. Nebula and War Machine go to where the Guardians of the Galaxy are, where the first Guardians are. So since Nebula is able to like vision shit that she goes through with the past, present, and future, Thanos is there and also able to see that, and has Gamora from the first Guardians when she was still on Thanos' side. And Thanos sees Nebula's vision of how shit goes down in Infinity War and what they're doing now. And Thanos is like, all right, I'm catching on to you guys. So Thanos catches on to the plan and goes back to our time, to present time, to stop all of it so he can redo everything he did, or prevent them from trying to redo it. And Nebula, Guardians of the Galaxy Nebula, is evil, and present Nebula is trying to convince her, like, hey, you need to like stop this. Like, he's not, like, Thanos is not on your side. He's just using you, all this shit. She convinces Gamora to be good too. And so yeah, that brings us back. I covered all the stone shit, I think, at least all the important, because if I would have left out that Thanos shit, yeah. But like I said, if you've seen the movie, you know what happened. So they go back to our time, and then they're all happy that they have the stones. Then Thanos comes to fight them all, to stop them from redoing everything. Then you have this big fight between Thanos, Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. Our main Avengers. And so they're getting their asses kicked because, Thor's the big bad wolf in this shit, versus the three little pigs. So here's a part I love. You got Thor getting his ass kicked by Thanos, and then Thor tries to get his hammer. Then you see the hammer go flying past Thor. Captain America grabs it, and it's just fucking awesome. I mean, and like Thor's like, I knew it, and he knew he was worthy for it, because I think it was Age of Ultron. They all tried picking up the hammer, and Captain America made it move a little bit, and so we all knew like Captain's worthy for that shit. So Captain America is just beating the shit out of Thanos with the hammer, lightning striking him and everything. After that happens, you hear Falcon on your left, and then a portal opens up. You got Falcon flying out of it, and then this was just movie magic right here. One of the most unforgettable scene, a movie scene that's going to go down in fucking history, like the Death Star blowing up. It's like that big. You have all these portals open up, and every fucking MCU character you can think of comes back, except obviously Black Widow. Vision doesn't come back. Gamora doesn't come back, but we have past Gamora now. So yeah, we still have Gamora. But you have Star-Lord, Doctor Strange, all the Guardians, Spider-Man. You have it all. And everyone in my theater's just fucking cheering, even myself. And then you got Captain America saying, Avengers, assemble. And then they all go fight Thanos' people. The Avengers theme playing is just fucking amazing. What a well done scene. Just brought me like a big ass smile on my face. And just watching them all fight each other to the death. So then it breaks down to Captain America, Spider-Man, everyone's trying to like kill Thanos, like all the main guys. And then Tony Stark, or Iron Man's fucking, what do you call it? Iron Man's like thing to tell him like what's going on, tells him like there's something on our radar. I don't know what it is. And then boosh, Captain Marvel flies through Thanos' ship and destroys it like a badass. And then she tries coming to kill Thanos and take the Infinity Gauntlet off him. and fucking she's able to kick his ass a little bit, but not too much. And then Tony finally fights Thanos once and for all, because who to fight him left than the guy who started all this off. So you got him fighting him, and then you think he's about to take off the Infinity Gauntlet, and Thanos pushes him off and goes to make a snap and sees that the stones aren't on the Infinity Gauntlet. And all the stones, Tony stole all the stones and puts it on his glove. And when Thanos makes a snap, he says, "I am inevitable." And then Tony Stark says, "I am Iron Man." And snaps and kills off all Thanos' people, including Thanos. They all start turning to dust. And that snap killed Iron Man, because the Infinity Stone snap is supposed to be for a powerful Avenger. And they tried it with Hulk first. They tested it with Hulk, and even he was barely able to take it earlier in the movie. So Tony Stark did the ultimate sacrifice, and that snap did kill him. It was a very, very emotional scene. I mean, if you're a big superhero Marvel fan, you definitely shed a couple tears with this. I did myself. I mean, I was like in 7th grade when the first Iron Man came out, and I've always been a big Iron Man fan. So I had a feeling that was going to happen, but it was well written. It needed to happen like that. You let's break. I want to talk about that a little bit. I just love that you take a really arrogant, selfish character who thinks he's better than everyone, thinks about himself first, and finally does the ultimate sacrifice to save the entire universe, puts everyone before himself. And it was sad to see. His death scene was a really sad scene. You got Spider-Man, who looks at him like a father, telling him like, "Tony, don't go. We won. We did it." And then Pepper comes up and says her goodbyes, tell her like, "You can rest now. We won." And you just watch the light on his heart go out. So yeah, that is the end of Iron Man. And then after that, they have a funeral for Tony, and it has all the like little superhero cliques standing together. You got the Guardians there, you got Spider-Man, you got Happy and War Machine there. You got everybody. So after that, you have Captain America, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier and Hulk putting the quantum realm together to return the stones, because they had to return them to like make sure it doesn't fuck up the time zones or whatever, the timeline. My bad. And Captain America. This real quick was my favorite fucking part. Just the most heartwarming part of the whole movie. When Captain America goes back and Hulk's watching his timeline, and he's like, he went past his timeline. He was supposed to be back. So they see someone sitting on a bench. It's this old dude. Falcon goes up to him, and it's Captain America. He's 80 years old, and he went to live a life. He even said to Falcon, he's like, I want to live one of those lives Tony told me about. And which he deserved. And Captain America passes off the shield to Falcon. So now Falcon's the new Captain America. And then they shake hands, and you see a wedding ring on Captain America. And Falcon's like, "You want to tell me about her?" And Falcon tells Captain America, like, "You want to tell me about her?" He says to him, "No, I don't think I'm going to." And then it goes back to the 40s, and you see Captain America and Peggy finally getting that dance and living a life together. And that's how the movie ends. And might I just say that, let me start with Captain America, because we just mentioned him. He deserves that. Like, he is a man who has always put other people before himself. Just such a good human being. And they finally did the ultimate, like, saving the world thing, to where it cannot get any more worse than that. And they finally saved it. And He's like, he can rest now. He can go on living the life he deserved, to be with the love of his life and live a normal, happy life. And kudos to him. Like he deserves that. Um, Iron Man, everyone went out the way they should have, and just the perfect endings for these characters. Iron Man went out the way he should have. A man who, like vice versa to Captain America, put himself before everybody and then finally put everybody before himself. And he was the ultimate superhero at the end. The guy who started off this MCU, saved the fucking world. And then Black Widow, character who had nothing, who got everything and wanted to do everything for everybody. It was just, I don't know. I have like very, very little complaints with this movie, and I loved it way more than I thought I was going to. I just thought it was perfect from start to finish. I really have no complaints about it at all. It's like I said, the Professor Hulk. I wish we saw Hulk smash, but it did not. It did not ruin it for me. Not to the very least. So I hope I didn't leave anything out too much. I don't think I did. There might have been a couple things I left out. I think I covered everything that was important, though. If I did leave things out, let me know in the comments. Thank you all for watching. And if you did watch this and haven't seen it, well, shame on you. But, go see the movie. I'm telling you, I just think it's one of those movies that's going to go down history. For the ones that are complaining about it, and like their reasons for complaining about it or just not being impressed by it, I get it. I just think this movie goes beyond like one of the best superhero movies. It goes by one of the best movies. No Marvel movie has ever been done like this, to where it looks like it could be a fucking Academy Award nominee. It's probably not going to be, and it's okay if it's not. My favorite Marvel movie of all time, one of the best finales to a movie series, and I can't wait to see where this MCU goes next. But yes, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Next major movie that comes out, I will, I go to see them early and I will make a review on it as soon as I see it. So I apologize for the wait. And thank you, Marvel, for everything you've done. Thank you, Captain America and Iron Man. All right. That is all, folks. I will see y'all later. Peace out.